Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. Kanan, how you doing? Okay, I just took a quick trade there. It was a little bit choppy, so I just did it on one account. So I've just got one account that's a little bit lower there. So I just took it for a quick point. So I ummed and ahed about waiting, but we're getting close to the market open. So sometimes you just don't know when it's going to rush back down and nick that anyway. So you can see it down there, or to your top left. Just a quick $100, 2 contracts. Just went for a point. Kind of liked it. We've got a push up here. It's a second entry long. Also, it's trapping possible short there as well. And after breaking out this, we've pushed back in, retested this a couple of times. So you'd expect it to lightly get to the top, but I just wanted to get in and out quickly before the open. So I hope everyone had a good trading day yesterday. I'm just going to extend this so I can see a little bit clearer. Okay, brilliant. Okay, let's see what happens now. We had some news at 1:30, which did maybe a little bit slightly large bar, but apart from that, nothing. It's all right. Sorry, I was reading something. So. Yeah, I kind of liked it anyway. You could have finished a little bit nicer, but good anyway. Worked perfectly fine anyway. So okay, so news. Okay, market is open. Sorry, let's just put that back to where it was. There we go. I am also curious to ask the question, bro. I waited almost 7 hours to ask this question. I saw many YouTubers say Apex scam, they didn't pay. Also comment on some of your videos. Get dozens. Apex is good or bad? It's good, mate. Yeah, don't worry. Okay, what's all that happened? There is a few YouTubers or a couple I know that have been discussing the problems. The issue is they've had certain rules at Apex for a long time, but they've never really policed them. But I believe they are getting scammed a little bit. It's like anything in life. There are always people that are going to give you a hard time. There are always people that are going to scam you in business, you know, banks, credit cards, any type of business. So I think with that they've got to sort of manage, and they've just decided really to enforce the rules. And anybody who's been breaking the rules and kind of getting away with it, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've revenge traded in the past and got lucky and managed to get a payment. So we all do it to a degree, but they've never really policed it up until now, but they've decided to now. So honestly, you know, you're going to get some people that are pissed off about it because they've had their pay stopped. But all they've said is, we'll draw the line under it. There's no issues. Just continue to trade for another days and you'll get your payment. So don't worry, mate. I've got 20 accounts with them. As you can see, I'm not concerned at all. So I won't worry about it, mate, honestly. I won't worry about it. All prop firms have, you know, certain rules, and some people don't get paid because they break the rules, and then some people speak out about it. You know, everyone's entitled to, you know, voice their opinion, but I'm not worried in the slightest, so I wouldn't worry yourself, mate, honestly. Hey, Speedy, how you doing, pal? So I know, I think Kellyanne's been talking about it, and there was another guy I saw as well. But I'm, from a personal note, I'm not concerned in the slightest. I wouldn't have 20 accounts otherwise. So there you go. So. We are starting off what looks like a range. I still think this is likely to hit these highs and quite likely a breakout as well. Now, we did yesterday make some new highs. We're at all-time highs again, so whether we'll have a leg and a leg, whether we'll try again. But we've been up there once, we got rejected. We've been up there a second time, got rejected. So it'd be interesting to see whether we smash through it and continue higher or come back down. Let's just have a quick gander at the daily, see if that's given us anything. So I mentioned that yesterday. Let me just keep them out of the way. I mentioned that yesterday. 2 legs down, nice strong looking bar. I did mention by the end of the day, I'm pretty sure we'll have broke those highs. I think we had a matching high. It is a matching high, but yeah, it was a strong day yesterday, especially the latter part of the day. But the push up, the pull back to the EMA, nice second entry long. It was a nice, if you'd seen that trade, you'd probably take that, wouldn't you? But it did what it was supposed to. And this morning, we've just broke, well, whether you got stopped out on the daily or whatever, I don't know. But I mean, it's the daily, isn't it? So whether we'll push higher now or whether we'll have a little pullback, your guess is as good as mine. So let's have a look. What's gone on here? Why has something changed, or hasn't it? Okay. My box has disappeared. Let's put that there. So you've actually got a second entry long there, but it's a bit sideways. I still think it's likely we're going to push up, but there is a little bit of support along there. So whether that's causing it, I still think it would work. But why is that? Why am I not able to draw that? Oh, there we go. Okay, so you can clearly see there. There's some support there. 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. Maybe somewhere around about there. There's some support there. But there is, a second entry long there. It doesn't actually look that bad. My only slight concern with that is it's a bit sideways there. But you'd expect that to hit the top. But as I say, there is a little bit of support there. But I'm pretty sure you'll get 2 points off that. Yes, you would have done comfortably. Definitely, yeah. So that went up 3 points. So yeah, not a bad trade. So that's where I got in. In fact, I had that a little higher at the time. I had mine there. That's where I got in. Pushed up. It did pull back, but my stop would have been safe. But it's gone where I expected it to, towards these highs. Acting just like a range we'd expect it. Maybe a bit of a pullback there, but there is some support along there. So maybe, because sometimes what you get earlier on doesn't necessarily comply with what you get from then onwards. So who haven't I said hello to? Speedy, I've said hello to you. Kane, I've said hello to you. Private Ryan, how you doing? At the end of the day, they have to make money as well. Of course they do. I mean, people forget Apex are a business, and businesses are there to make money. That's what it's about, making money. And I mean, you've got to provide a service as well. You've got those two. You've got to make money and you've got to provide a service. That's a good business, really. So you've got to keep the customers happy. But, if you'd have broken the rules, I understand that they didn't police the rules. I understand that. And maybe they should have done. I think it probably would have gone down better if they said, okay, from the 1st of June, we're now going to, if anybody breaks the rules after the 1st of June, it may adversely affect your payout. I think that would have been probably a better way to approach it. But at the end of the day, the rules have been there in black and white, and at any time they may start to police it. So I understand people are a bit cheesed off about losing the money. I get it. I probably would myself, but the rules are there in black and white, and if you choose to break them or bend them or whatever, and at any time they may start to police them, and they have. And it's unfortunate that some people have had their pay stops, but they have said it's fine. We're not taking away any of your money. All we're going to do is make you trade for an extra 10 days. That's it. So it's no real biggie. But I think, some people may have taken it out of proportion. But, it is what it is. I know Kellyanne's been speaking up about it. And there was another guy as well. I get people have got to have their say. But, personally, in my opinion, Apex aren't scammers. They're a business trying to make money. I mean, we've all got an opinion, but I'm not concerned at all. Not in the slightest. I'm happy. But I mean, they could say any of the money you've made over that period of time, we're stopping. So they could, if they wanted to, be really awkward. But they're not taking away your money. They're just saying, you've broken the rules. We're now deciding to enforce them. You can keep your money. It's a good faith thing. But over the next 10 days and from now on, you have to follow the rules. Otherwise, there could be consequences. So they haven't taken anybody's away. I do believe Matt's now been approved for his. So, I'm not concerned at all. Failed evals, consistent traders up to $2,000, blown PAs, obviously. Yeah, it's a two-way street. They need us, we need them. No one forces people to use Apex. There are, there's plenty others out there. I mean, I've been using Apex now for, I would probably say, the best part of 18 months. And from a personal point, I've had no problems with them. They've always paid me when they should. Sorry, the only slight issue was when they moved over to plain. I had to wait about an extra 5 days, but I think they were just lumbered with that. All of a sudden, some regulations changed, and the payout they were with said, you've got to dance through a few hoops. So it was a bit awkward. I mean, it was a little bit. So it wasn't really their fault, as far as I'm aware. But they did sort it out in the end, and they did it. Sometimes things happen. When I worked full time as a normal job, the odd time your wages got messed up. It does happen in life. It's just one of those things. So, Kanan, check my comment. First 2 evals passed. Oh, thanks for your guidance for reading many negative comments. So only asked the question. Thanks. Yeah. People have their right to speak, and most I think speak well, but it does happen. Let me have a look. Have I missed anything? Trying to make sure I get all your questions answered there. Passed my first eval today. Thanks to you. No, it's thanks to you, bud. You've passed them. It's kind of exciting. I remember the first time I passed an eval. I remember telling my mum, she passed away just over a year ago, but I remember telling my mum, saying, that's it, I've made it as a trader. I thought that was it, I cracked it. I thought my life was going to change overnight. But yeah, it's the start of a journey. And it is a journey. It's a journey that, I've heard Max say many times, trading is a real skill. It does take time. I've heard him talk about doctors and lawyers and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, how can it take that long? But it really does to get better. I mean, you can go to university for 3 years and get into a professional job, but it takes time to master it and improve at it and build up the skill and experience. And that's what it is. They also have good customer service. Yeah, I've been okay with customer service. I dropped them a mail a couple of days ago about something, and they got back to me in 2 days and it was sorted out. But I think what's happened, because of these offers, Apex have had a big influx of new traders, and I think they may have struggled to cope with the larger volume of people coming through. And I believe they have employed new people. It's teething issues with the business. You always have problems. You start to get a big influx of new customers. It stands to reason you're going to need new staff, and you're going to need to train them, and sometimes there are little hiccups. But I understand that. I had a business myself a few years ago, and I understand. You do have teething problems, and sometimes you let customers down a little bit. It can't be helped, but you just do your best to do them right, So, but I'm not concerned at all. If I was, I wouldn't use Apex, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm quite happy. I'm happy. Looking like initial channel. I was just looking that along there at the moment. See, we've had this. It's clearly ranging. We've had this bit of a breakout, which it came down, went a bit sideways, and then pushed straight back in. That's why I took that, because I expected another leg up, which it did. I like to try and get out on that first push, because when it comes back, I don't like the feeling. But there was a second entry long there, and it was also a bit of a triple test. You got this 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3 bounce. So I don't think that was a bad trade. It is a bit congested, but you can see it's kind of 2 legs. I'd expect that to work. But, if you're a good chart reader, you'll spot that, and you may take it. I left it because it's a bit, but I wouldn't class myself as a very experienced trader. I would sort of class myself as sort of hitting that intermediate level now, where I've learned all the basics, and I'm starting to grow and expand my experience. So if I'd have had an evaluation, I'd have jumped all over that. To me, that's quite a bit of rejection. It goes below. If you'd have taken that one, a lot of the time it'll do that. It'll give you a trade that might be a little bit on the poor side. It'll trigger it, come down and stop it out, and then reverse. I don't know how many times I've been stopped out and it ends up going up in that same direction. Let's have a list. Now, you could say that's a triple test if that comes bearish, but my concern with that is we've had a breakout here. So I would be prepared for the possibility of another breakout, so I wouldn't be taking a shorty. I don't know if it's going to form into a bearish bar anyway. It may do. Sometimes it... No, it's not, hopefully. I didn't want it to, really, because I don't want anybody getting stuck there. Because I think it's likely we're going to get up around this sort of area to sort of... We often get like a match there, but... oh, come on. What's going on here? So there may be something like that. It could be a channel. But at the moment, for me, I'm just sort of applying range rules. Because to me, at the moment, it does look like it's clearly ranging with a breakout, which failed. So I'd expect this one to as well. Now, there obviously is a possibility it could come bounce and back into here and then push up some more. But at the moment, I'm looking at it at a range. Right, who have I missed? Jay, how you doing, mate? Looking like... Oh, yeah. That initial ecstatic feeling, yeah. Yeah. Armanas, how you doing, bud? I saw a comment somewhere that the ES is like climbing stairs going up and all of a sudden jumping out of it coming down. That's a good comment, that way. Yes, isn't it? Yeah, sometimes in fact, there's a good example, isn't it? You see this sometimes, and you might be thinking, oh yeah, there's one, I'm going to jump in, and all of a sudden, but yeah, it does. One thing to be aware that I've noticed over the last few years is if you think it's going up sometimes, when it's very, very slowly grinding up, that makes me nervous about going along. I like to see consistent, nice, steady movement. When it does start to get very slow, it often does that. It's losing momentum. It's very easy to be thinking, oh, I don't want to miss this. But one thing I will say to maybe newer traders is you have to develop some patience. And it is hard in the beginning. You're itching to take a trade. I know exactly what it feels like because I've been there from day one. But after a while, with experience, you'll start to filter out crap. But, as a new trader, it's almost impossible to sit there in a day and not take a trade. But what I will say is if you sit here for 3 or 4 hours and you don't take a trade, I wouldn't feel bad about that. I feel positive about that because that says you've got the patience to be able to sit here and not take something. Patience and self-control, it's something I really struggle with. I'm much better at it now, but it does take time. So, don't expect things to happen overnight, but just be consistent. Keep trying. You won't even need to try and learn. You'll automatically be learning as you go along, and you will. And the best way to learn is to get trapped and get stuck and lose trades. But all I can say is if you are new, don't start putting money into it. Don't start doing evaluations. Just stay with it's much better to learn with just on a simulator, because you just take out that extra stress of losing money, because it does make a difference. So get some skills first, build up a bit of skills, and then have a go at an evaluation. But what I would say, and one thing I did, is whenever you're new and you first start to have a go at evaluation, only ever do one at a time. Because some people, they try and get 5 and 10 straight away, and if you copy them all, you have one bad trade, it turns into 10 bad trades. You're just having bad trades across the board then. So just stick with the one and slowly build up that feeling of it and, those emotions. You'll have a lot better time of it. I threw way too much money at this. I've done over 500 evaluations. I just threw money at it, thinking I could bully my way in, and it doesn't work. So if I could give any advice to someone just starting, when I started a few years ago, just don't think about the money. Just keep your full-time job and then just do this as a hobby and learn. And if you're consistent and you keep trying, you'll get somewhere. So we've come out of this and we've pulled back in. We've tried to come out again and pull back in again. So as I say, we've had that breakout there which failed, and we've had here a couple of attempts. What do you mean evaluation? Okay, so there's 2 ways of trading and making money in this business. You can obviously use your own funds, which as a new trader, I would absolutely say 100% avoid. Or you can choose a prop firm, proprietary firm, prop firm for short. And there are many out there. I choose Apex, but there's Top Step, there's Bullanox, there's a bunch of them. And what you do is you kind of use their funds, if you like. So you'll take an evaluation. So what it basically is, it's a period of time which you pay a small fee for. At the moment, they're about $16. And you trade with the prop firm. And if you hit a certain target and you follow certain rules, they'll fund you. Now, when I say fund you, it's still a simulated account, but it's a simulated account where you can make money. So it's a much cheaper way of getting that experience, having some skin in the game. So just if you're quite new and you're not sure I'm not the best person to teach you really. I'd go around YouTube and just search out prop firms, how they work, and you'll get a little bit more of an understanding for it. But it's a much better way. You can have some skin in the game for $16. If you wanted to trade your own account, even trading micros, you've got to have at least $50 in your fund, in your account, your own personal broker, even just to trade one micro. If you want to trade a mini, you've got to have a minimum of $500. So there's a lot of money you could potentially lose. So prop firms really are the best option for newer traders. So there is kind of a second entry long there, but I don't really want to go long into here because we've been up here twice and failed. So that may be a better option. I'm just going to remove this. There is a failure there, second entry long trapped. I'm just going to take that up a touch. Yeah, see, as I've took that out now, there's not much of a break there, so that could go a bit higher. Or it could just trap some more longs. Hey, bud, how you doing, Philip? Did you saw some videos from V. Wilson, how managed trades today? He used auto break-even in his stop-loss in profit. Trades manually, I kind of like it. Yeah, you can do. You can go into your here, and you can set it up so that as soon as, if you say, for instance, I've got two contracts here. If you split them into 1 and 1, you just have a second target, and then you have, like I say, auto break even. So the second it hits your profit, it automatically comes to break even. That's if you got a runner or a second contract that's going higher. That's interesting. That's not what you want to say. It is a failure, but I'm staying out of it because it is a bit congested there. So that to me looks like it's sucking longs in. Comes down, triggers people, pulls back, drops down again, and then traders think, oh, okay, we are going down. And you may get another little slightly bearish bar here. And then if you jump in on that second bar, often it'll turn. So I'm staying out of this at the moment because I'm just feeling a bit unsafe there. There's a lot of support along there. It may work, but I'm just staying out of it. I just don't like this. There's a lot of support along there and going short into that moment. In fact, it's an extension of that. That highlight. There we go. Yeah, that's why I didn't like it, because it's bouncing off there and it could trigger you and push up. But on this at this time it worked. You'd have got 2 points. Yes, you would have done. But for me, it just made me a bit nervous. That I don't like that. Yeah, the bit that made me nervous is that support right the one there. I didn't want to go short into that. Doesn't mean it won't work. Let's have a look. Cindy, good morning to you, Cindy. Are you a female? I think you are. Cindy's a, yeah, I think so. Welcome anyway, new face. I think I've not seen you before, so welcome. Where are you from? And if you're not, if you are a guy and I've called you a female, so my apologies. I took a long break 3 weeks ago. I feel like I did forget how to trade. Yeah, I've often wondered that if you take a decent break or a holiday, whether you think, I think it's like riding a bike, mate. I think you probably jump straight back in soon. So I won't be concerned about it. But yeah, I think it is like riding the bike. I think once you can do it, it may just take you a few days or a week just to get back into it. It's crossed my mind before whether that would be a problem or not. I did look at this. We've had this channel with a break, 2 pushes down, 2 nil. Retested this a couple of times, pushed up. I did look at that bar there, but I left it. I'm quite glad I did now. It's a bit congested, but it does look like it's kind of working up. But it's a bit congested there, which is a shame, because there may have been a few shorts there, but it broke above it and didn't really do much. I took 1.5 weeks off, feel much better. Absolutely. A break does do the world of good. In all honesty, up until Christmas, I hadn't taken anything off in 3.5 years. I really hadn't any more than 3 or 4 days, a long weekend. Even the Christmas I worked the last couple of Christmases, just took Christmas Day Boxing Day, and I was back in on the 27th. But I took the whole break off this year. I felt like I needed it. I was frustrated. I was just blowing accounts, and it made a world of difference to me. So a break. The thing is, what you got to realise is when you are learning to trade, it's bloody frustrating, and it's kind of like being stuck in a bad marriage. Now, I've never been in a bad marriage, but I have known people who have, and the slightest thing sets them off. You just can't seem to get away from it. So walking away and giving yourself, giving that mind chance to clear and calm down, I think is worth its weight in gold. So if you are struggling and you're frustrated and you're angry and you're throwing money at trading, take a couple of weeks off. I think you'll find it is hard. Even if when I had a few days off, I was still looking at the charts, but it's good for you to take a break. I mean, if you look at Mac, he takes regular breaks, goes off fishing, gets away from trading, because it is quite a stressful job. So you do need a break from time to time. So I'm just going to mark this as not a terrible trade. It clearly worked. But I distracted myself. Yeah, you know, if you can afford it, get abroad, get away from it completely. I am in August. I think we're going to take a week abroad. I think we're looking at somewhere in Greece. I got a 15-year-old. She's 16 this year, so we haven't been away for a few years. I think Ibiza was the last time we went, about 4 years ago, I think. Well, it was just before lockdown, but we haven't been away since lockdown, apart from the odd weekend. Going golfing. Yeah, I tried golfing. It doesn't work very well, me in golf. I just try and smack the ball as hard as I can. I spent most of the time in the trees looking for the balls. But I like a bit of fishing, I do. I find that quite relaxing. I do a little bit of fly fishing. And I kind of like that. But it's good to take a break for sure. So, let's have a look here. So, we've got a channel there with an overshoot. You may think of doing that, in which case we probably haven't got an overshoot. Tough one, that. I mean, you could go from there. We got a few touches there. It kind of looks okay, but we're clearly ranging at the moment, so yeah, girl from Colombia living in California. Excellent. Okay, it's nice to get some ladies in. It's nice to get some girls in. We have got a couple, not many, maybe one or two, couple I think. So it's nice to have some more. I actually think ladies make better traders personally, because they're a little bit more calmer than we are. Guys are a little bit too gung ho. We go in there, don't we? Dive straight in without thinking. I think sometimes women make better traders. I think my wife's a lot calmer than me. I'm not hot-headed, but I do struggle with patience from time to time. But I'm surprised there's a lack of women in trading. There's just very few. I don't know many at all. I mean, the people we've had in here since I've been streaming the last 18 months, there's maybe 3 or 4. And if I look into the details of my YouTube studio, it's less than 1%, which is strange, really, because I especially sort of women who may be mothers and they sort of may spend a lot of time at home. It's kind of a useful thing to trade. I mean, I trade for about 3. My wife goes out to work. I stay at home with my daughter, obviously with school. But it's useful. I'm here in the mornings with her. I can take her to school. I can pick her up in the afternoon. So it's ideal. Cindy's a name you don't hear much of. It used to be quite a popular name in the UK. We go through phases, but you don't hear it much anymore. You're from Colombia. Okay, South America, Colombia. Where they make the coffee, or where the coffee grow up, where they make it, where the coffee comes from. I am a big coffee fan. I would consider myself a home barista. So, what is going on here? So is that a break? I would not be looking for a short here now. Not that it won't work, but we've bounced multiple times off the bottom of this. So short here for me personally would be risky. Now, I'm not saying it won't come down, but I won't be looking for a short here, even if it is a breakout of a channel, because ultimately range rules are more important. If you look down there, we had that channel down there. We had a break of it, but we never came down because it's a channel. So sometimes channels, if these channels or ranges, if these short-term channels or larger channels are close enough to the bottom of a range, they'll just turn and push up. So I wouldn't automatically assume they're going to come down for a new low. It's fitting quite nice at the moment. But we've had a breakout which failed here and one here as well. I think a few people were looking at that. I was very tempted myself. My only slight concern is it's bouncing constantly on top of that line, so there is a little bit extra risk there. It could trigger you. Push back up and try and retest this. So I left that like a good boy. Nice and patient. There'd have been a time I'd have jumped straight in without thinking. But I tend to slow things. I think with time and experience and that the emotions not affecting you, you have time to think. Once you add strong emotions and you're all over the place jumping in where you shouldn't. So as those emotions start to slow down and dissipate over time, you'll think a little bit more before getting into trades. And that will help you. So let's see if it does come down. There's no setup anyway. Chad, how you doing, Chad? Patient, yeah. Let him. He has got out about that, hasn't he? Yeah, I used to get quite a kick out of not taking a trade. I know, obviously, you want to take a trade, but part of the battle when you're learning to trade is patience. We all know it's an issue, but yeah, it does. The thing is, it's easy to mark. See, I didn't take that trade there because it's clearly congested, although I thought it would work. So you could mark that. That one I did trade, so you'd mark that one. You may mark that as a lower high. You may mark that as a failure. You may mark something else as a second entry. It's easy after the fact because you know these things worked. Leg in a leg, you may take that one. It worked at the time. In real time, you just never quite know. But if there was that many trades, Mac would be taking them. We all know Mac said he takes 2 to 3 trades a day. So if he's only taking 2 to 3 trades a day, that's all really he's probably seeing, because you know it's easy to spot these things when you know they work, but when you don't know that goes up, it's a very different story. Excuse me a sec. Okay. There we are. Look. Ooh, another new face. I will trade. Been a subscriber to your channel for a while now. Thanks for your work. Much appreciated. I've not sent you before. Oh, you had another comment up there. I just started using trend lines and channels. I'm currently experimenting with an indicator called Trendline, which breaks by Lux Algo. I'm from Hawaii. Lucky devil. Rubbing our nose in it. I'm from the UK and it rains most of the time. I'll be popping in and out of your stream. Excellent. You're very welcome. Hawaii. Okay, everybody ignore them. Everybody ignore them. We don't want to hear about these nice warm places where people are. Does sound nice though. We got someone else in from Hawaii. Oh, he's in from time to time. He's from your neck of the woods. So it's called Trend Line with Breaks by Lux Algo. Okay, if anyone's interested in that, have a look. Have a look. Always nice to see what's new out there. We get all sorts of different things coming in from time to time. Different bits of add-ons and that, which can be quite useful. So welcome. Been a while since we had 48 trades. Did I watch Mac's? Yeah, trouble is Mac usually posts his video about 1 o'clock in the morning UK time, so if I wake up, sometimes I have a browse on my phone. and I think I did. I didn't watch the end of it. There was a little bit left there, but I tend to just have a quick look to see what he's just to confirm what I see. And I obviously watched Thomas Wade as well. He had a video out last night, and Taylor from Top Pick Trades, another one I like. Breakfast with Mac. He should do something, shouldn't he? He should call that, do a stream once a week called Breakfast with Mac. I don't know why he doesn't do something like that, or Lunch with Mac or something like that, where he just does a live stream and people fire questions. The trouble is he probably have thousands of questions, but it would be nice to, the trouble is we hardly know Mac really, do we? He doesn't talk much about trading in general. It'd be nice to fire some questions at him. It would be nice. I trade mostly in Q, but here to learn trade your channel. Yeah, see, I trade this one, the ES, and also this now as of maybe the last week or so, because the ES has been a little bit. See, I price action. I trade price action, and I've learned from a guy called Mac, and I think there's quite a few others in this stream that have learned from Mac, but the ES at the moment is a little bit stale of trades. Yesterday wasn't a bad day, and I think Monday was okay as well, so it is getting better, but the trouble is you can't sit here all day and not take anything. That's tempting. Leg and a leg. But it is, I don't like it. I don't like taking trades around the middle. It'll probably work, but I'd rather take my longs at the bottom. You take them around the middle, and as we know, if you look this way at the middle, it gets a little bit choppy, so it can mess you around. And same here. It may come down, stop that out, and then push up. So I'm just sitting tight there. Mac doesn't need Apex, I'm assuming. No, I don't know. Mac doesn't trade. Lance is the Mac with Apex now. I think he only trades 20 contracts, Mac, which I'm surprised. Unless he's traded more in the past, but I'm surprised he only trades 20 contracts. I mean, you would think really as an experienced trader you would just grow, wouldn't you? But I don't know, some people are quite happy doing what they do. See what I mean about that bar there? As soon as you see that coming down there, your arse will start to twitch. You just never know. A lot of the time these markets just weave up and down, taking out positions like that. That's a bit of a weak position, that to me. That bar really needs to be a bit closer to here. It may work, but I wouldn't like to be in that trade. I wonder if that was a bit of an overshoot then. I'd have liked to have seen that bar triggered actually before it pushes up, but it's a bit congested there, isn't it? I think it's likely to work, but you never know. We've got this channel down. We could have 3 attempts. It could almost be a triple test, and this is where we may eventually get a break. But trade around this middle is risky. I've got in trouble around here at times. So I tend to, in a range, just think about, maybe no more than the first 25%. But look at that. What that's probably going to do, there may be a double trap there. Stop out that. And then turn around and push up. Having come off the bottom, I think it's more likely to push up. But there could be a triple test there. But if that one triggers, which I'd expect it to, maybe won't. That triggers, it'll stop out that one. Yeah, it hasn't. It's just bounced, isn't it? Try going up in contracts number, but messed up with psychology. Yeah, so the thing is, John, if you're like me and you trade with a prop firm, it's not the same, is it, as putting, to be able to use $2,500 a drawdown or to play with, it only cost me $140, whereas if Mac wants $2,500 to trade with, it actually costs him $2,500. So yeah, you'd have to gradually go up, wouldn't you? 1 contract a month or something like that. I suppose you probably could if you wanted to. Okay, so if you took that long there, you got stopped out. Let's see if that turns now and traps any shorts there. Let's see if this triggers. 2 legs. I mean, you could say it's a triple test, but we've already come off the bottom. So for me, I'd more likely expect it to get up to here somewhere. We know there's some support there. Why has that done that? We know there's some support and resistance there. You can see it on these tops here, and you can see it here and here. So I'd like to see that get up to at least here. So it stopped out that bar there. If you took that bar, there's 2 bearish bars. I won't count that one because it hasn't triggered, but 2 big bearish bars. There may be traders thinking channel down, few attempts higher were coming down, and it may well, but it could turn and push up. So it's just risky trading anywhere around the middle. You just got to be patient and just wait for the tops and bottoms, and hopefully you get a setup. But this is just typically ranging at the moment. What did we do yesterday? Big strong move up in the end. We're up to all-time highs again. That's what's missing. All-time highs. Never been up here before. All-time highs. Lock. Extend right. There we go. All-time highs. We've been up here a few times. So are we going to get a big drop, or are we going to continue on up? Who knows? I had to restart Rhythmic. It's annoying. The order was staying yellow for a couple of seconds. It's supposed to be sorted out, Rhythmic, isn't it? I hope it's just a one-off. Karina, how you doing? Mac don't use prop firms. He never did. No, I don't suppose he will he? Told me he opened a small account and traded MES. That's company 4 out of failures. I have an email with him. Yeah. I don't think prop firms existed when Mac started. I think he was making money by the time prop firms come on. I think prop firms have only been out about 8 years, haven't they? 8 years, 10 years maybe. Wasn't it something like Lilu or Top Step, some of the first? So yeah, they wouldn't have existed. I mean, it's made it more accessible to the likes of us. I wouldn't be able to afford to, lose amount of money. The trouble is, you've got to have a lot of experience. You've got to have a lot of experience, and the only way to get that experience of the emotional side is to have some type of skin in the game. And unfortunately, if you haven't got prop firms, you've got to use your own money, and that's when things get a bit expensive. What's going on now? Yeah, so it's just summer 2001 conditions, ghost town. I feel like Forex prop firms made the concept famous. Yeah, I know the 5%ers is one, isn't it? That's quite popular with Forex traders. I know there's a couple of guys a couple of YouTubers, what's his name? The Scruffy Traders one. He's quite a nice guy. The Scruffy Trader, and Mindfully Trades as well. She's female. What's her name? I forget her name. But she trades Forex. That's how I started Forex. I did a mentorship with a trader from London who worked in the UK at the London Stock Exchange. 5%ers came after FTMO. FTMO still going, are they? It was the one that went down not so long ago. I'm thinking of FTX, aren't I? SBF Sam Bank Fried, is it? Whatever. I'm thinking of FTX. So that's a crypto exchange. Sorry, I'm blabbering on a bit now. I was watching a documentary about him last night. Very wiki today, isn't it? FTMO. Oh, FTMO is doing well because there was one went down not so long ago in the last few months. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's quite a few. There is one guy. It's bloody annoying. He's constantly. That's how I ended up paying for the monthly YouTube to stop the adverts. He's the guy. What's the guy? What's his name? He kept popping up constantly. He's recently had his teeth. Simon Cal White. But he was every time I watched something on YouTube, he was popping up. He annoyed the hell out of me. Greg Secker, that's him. Yeah. I even went into. I did research on how to because it kind of works out what you're into and just constantly throws things. And I tried everything to get rid of the bloke and I couldn't. So I had to pay the £10 a month just to get rid of him. But yeah, I think the last time I saw a video, he'd just come back from the Maldives and he was bright red with shiny white teeth. And there was another one, an Asian guy from the UK, that says anybody who trades just candles is never going to make any money and doesn't know what he's talking about. So I don't know. Some Asian guy living in the West Midlands in the UK. He's another one who's a bit annoying. They seem to be just selling courses. But the trouble is, you don't know what you're getting, do you? You never know what you're getting. That's why I was so attracted to Mac. $125 for a year. Dean, if you turn your history off on YouTube. Do you know what, mate? I tried to do everything. I even did Google searches how to stop this, and I could not seem to get whether that guy had got around it or not. But maybe that was it. I can't remember what I tried now. But every flipping time I watched the YouTube channel, his bright red face and white teeth used to pop up. But yeah, the simplest thing. I mean, it is annoying when you're watching something and you get adverts, so I just pay the £10 a month and it just makes life a lot easier. How are you getting on, Dean, anyway? How's Guardian Angel Trader treating you? Just a thought. I think Apex would do better if they get rid of the trailing drawdowns for PAs. Not near as many will get blown. Yeah, that's probably why they won't get rid of them, mate. It keeps a fresh load of blown accounts coming in. Yeah, I don't see from a Pat's point of view, it doesn't really make no difference to us because I tend to go for just 2 points really. My risk is somewhere around about the 2.5, 2 3/4 points on average. So I think if you swing more, if you swing trade more, it's more of an issue. But as a sort of a scalper, it's never really been a problem. But what I would say for the swing traders, you just got to get to PA and then get up to that $2,600. As soon as you hit that $2,600 level, your trailing drawdown stops at 50,100. So it doesn't matter whether you let it doesn't matter whether the price goes up 100 points, comes down and stops you at break even. Then it doesn't affect you. So, but yeah, I mean, as a business, I'd say because I don't really use the trailing drawdown as such, not to the degree a swing trader would. Why do they do it? Is there a reason for it? Because you don't know whether someone's just going to open an evaluation down here, open a trade, put their stop up here, put their profit up here, and hope they get lucky. But then, if they haven't got a draw, then it doesn't matter what this thing does. But I suppose if you're trading your own money, if you're getting down here, put your stop to break even. It doesn't matter how far the market goes up. The worst that's going to happen is you're going to get out for break even. So, if the ultimate game for Apex is to copy your trades, if they're copying it with real money, there's your risk. If it comes up here and comes back down, it's still not necessarily risking anymore. Trade drawdown wouldn't change anything like that. Yeah, I suppose it depends how you trade really, whether it's something that really affects you. Just looking at that CL. That CL chart, we're at the top of this range. We're up here, we came down. We had a breakout which failed monumentally. So I'd like to see, there was a little breakout here, so I'd expect one there, which we have. So I may be looking for a lower high here. Back to that EMA. My second entry long on the 5 minute on the ESI. Trading drawdowns are, yeah. I mean, I think runners are better when you're in a PA account and you're over that threshold, that $2,600 threshold. Then it doesn't matter where the market goes, really, does it? Your risk is your risk. It doesn't affect your trades at all. Dean, sorry, I'm doing well. I still take one trade per day. Move to a 5 minute chart. Good on you, mate. Good on you. I think that's sensible, one trade a day. That's what I tend to take. Well, some days, I mean, I probably average 2 to 3 trades a week sometimes, but I did have a dry spell of a couple of weeks. I just didn't take anything. It's quite a weird feeling. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break just for a quick minute. I'll be back. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so we're up to this level again. What is going on here? Leg and a leg. Let me just check that. CL. Nothing as yet. Let's have a look here. That's interesting there. Oh, yeah. Lower high there. Trouble is, we haven't quite got up to these highs, so you may not have even got in there. It came down that quick. It's risky trading there. The trouble is, if you're short there, you're going right into this middle. The fact that it works is a bit irrelevant, really. Martin, how you doing, my friend? You doing okay? You doing all right? I've been watching your videos. Just incidentally, folks, if you trade any type of penguin style trade, Martin has a channel where he shows his trades. I don't think he'll mind if I get it up and show you. I'm pretty sure he'll send me a nasty message. Let me have a look. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? You're down here. There we go. So, okay, I'll drag this in quickly. So that's Martin. You can see he's just made a comment here. This is his channel. And if you trade penguin style trades, I think he probably does a little bit of max, but I think more penguin style trades. That's his channel there, so I'd check that out. He certainly seems to be picking up more points than I am at the moment. But yeah, that's his channel. So there you go. Check him out. I tend to look at Penguin style as well, because I think Penguin is actually a very, very clever trader. He doesn't do as many videos as he used to, but I love his style. He trades very much like Mac, but on a slightly bigger picture, you know, where we sort of have, you know, maybe a second entry long. He'll look for actual legs as opposed to bars. So he's something I look at as well. I sort of, you know, it helps me with general direction. So yeah, so check Martin out there. Interesting read. Excellent. Done for today. Decent trade. Good on you, mate. But chickened out. Yeah, that's my problem at the moment. Trouble is, I've got 20 PA accounts now. Although I split them in 10 and 10, but it can bring on that little bit of fear of taking a trade. So, but yeah, I think we all get that, don't we? So not too many points today, but one trade. Yeah, I think one trade's a good number for the day. You know, if I, the way I see things, if I take 3 trades a week for 2 points, that gets me over $500 per week, which over a month is over $2,000. So even if, you know, you have a terrible week or a terrible month or some awkward trades, even if you get half of that, it, you know, $1,000 times potentially 20 accounts, there's plenty of money to be earned. So you don't need to take massive amounts of trades. You know, 1 trade a day or even 3 or 4 a week. It really is ample. You're much better to wait for those better trades. And just so good on you, mate. Enjoy your day. I'll show you again, Jay. I'll show you again. But he trades Penguin style, and the Penguin guy is a very clever trader. He's very knowledgeable. That's a picture of him there, by the way, dressed as a pirate. But that's his channel there. So go and subscribe to him and have a look. But it's very similar to Max, but on a slightly bigger scale. But yeah, go and check him out. But my words exactly. Yeah, it is much better. You do. I think with experience, you do filter out trades. You do filter out the rubbish. I could have never sat. I mean, how long have I been going now? Over an hour. I could have never sat here without taking 2 or 3 trades. It's almost impossible. But after time, you do. I think a lot of it's down to emotions as well. You know, it's like it's almost like sat in the cockpit of a jet fighter trading when you're new. You just you know, you're shaking, you're trembling. Those emotions are strong, and you're just clicking buttons left, right, and centre. But after time, you do start to calm down. That was part of my problem. I'd see what looked like a setup, and I'd jump in and dive in and just click buy or sell. Now, it's surprising how much time you've actually got to think about a trade. You tend to think you have to make a quick decision. Well, half your time you don't. Yeah, the trouble is when you've learnt Mac as well and you see a good Mac setup, it's hard not to take it, really, isn't it? But I would say if you've got extra skills, you've got to use them. And obviously you've picked them. Obviously, Martin, you've picked them up trading Mac style, so you'd be daft not to. You can't help it. You can't help it. And let's face it, if you see a good enough trade, you'd be daft not to take it, really. Yeah, so it's a bit of a tricky day today. There's quite a bit of chop, so you can get stuck a bit here. There's a failure there, trapping some longs, but then you're going short into this midline. There's some support and resistance there you can see, so you've got to be careful around here. There was a failure there, and a kind of, in fact, there was a second entry short there. That's triggered. It could go up and stop that out. It's risky trading around that middle section. Can you show Penguin Trader YouTube? Yes, I can, mate. Oh, what have I done? Okay, you're back. Yes. He's actually a very, very clever trader. And it'd be useful to watch him. Yeah, where are you? Penguin Trades. That's him there. There you go. But if you look back on his videos there, he doesn't. Let me have a look. Does he do recent ones? Oh yeah, he still does them. Okay, so yesterday, for instance, one day, 12.5 points NQ. So he doesn't stream, he just puts the videos up after. So look what he took on the NQ. 6.5 points on the ES, 12.5 points on the NQ. 4 points on the ES, 26 on the NQ. 13 points, I don't know what they were. 8 points, 29 points, 15 points, 5.5 points, 39 points, 3 points. He very rarely has a red day. Very rarely. 37 points, 4 points. You know what I mean? Well, when was the last time you can see a red day? He's a very clever trader, so you do yourself a favour and watch some of this. It's always good to add extra skills, but look, he's green every day. He does have red days, but very rarely. But yeah, that's him there. Penguin Trades. Definitely worth a look for sure there. Maybe just post his. When you listen to him, he's very knowledgeable. No. You misunderstood me there. He does take losses. He very rarely takes a red day though, and he does post his losses, and he does show the losses, and he shows the trades he misses. So he does have losses, but obviously over a period of a day, he rarely has a red day. So have a look at him. When you listen to him and he explains the charts, how they work, and what he looks at, he's very knowledgeable. He really is. That's a shame about that, CL. I was looking for a lower high there. We've had a channel with a break, small break, 1-2 pushes up to a new high. Clearly ranging. I was looking for a lower high here, but we didn't get one. But look, it's a shame really. So we had an overshoot there, an overshoot there. Now we've had one here. I'll be inclined to maybe take that to there and bring that to there. So same again, a range day. That was a shame. I was hoping for a lower high there, but never happened. Thanks, Lance. Anytime, mate. No problem. No problem. Oh, sorry, Lance, but I'm invested in that screenshot of yours. I know how to do it now. I right click there, screen capture, hold, drag, and then this pops up, and then I get rid of that, and I've got to drag the picture into an open part of the screen for it to work. So if I drag it to an open part of the screen, it works now. So if I drag it in here, you'll see it there. I don't think it'll pop up in here, but in fact it might be behind there somewhere, is it now? But yeah, it's quick to do now, so that's all I do. Yeah, it's back here. You can see I've attached it there, but yeah, you've got to attach it to a blank bit of screen, an open bit of screen, and then just let go, and then I can then drag that into Discord. I just can't drag it straight from here to Discord. It doesn't work. I have, mate. Yes, I have got. I had to play around with it last night. Trouble is when I'm streaming, see, I've got YouTube and I've got OBS up. I've also got the Discord up. Then I've got this chart. I've got the CL. So my charts are quite busy. You can copy and paste though, can you really? Let me have a go. So right click down here, capture image, drag. Let's have a look. It pops up here out the way. So if I get rid of that. Copy image, paste. Yes, you can. Fantastic. Even better. Brilliant. Brilliant. I'm pleased with that. Well done for saying that, mate. Excellent. Oh, that's much easier. Saves me having to drag. Oh, yeah, copy and paste. Fantastic. Brilliant. Well done. Thanks, Thomas. Let's just do that again. So right click on here. There was bound to be some quick way. So like that. It's up here. So get rid of that. Right click. Copy image in the bottom. Paste. Beautiful. Yeah, I've done it in my own one there. There we go. Beautiful. And delete it. Excellent. Brilliant. Oh, that's much easier. There was bound to be a quick way. Because I see people throwing them in one after another, and I'm thinking there must be an easy, quicker way of doing it, but excellent. Right, click copy, yeah, or copy, or Control V, yeah. Trouble is, I've got a big microphone in front of me, and I've got the keyboard behind it, so it's a bit of a pain to get the keyboard. Why not use Windows Snipe tool? I used to, bud, but what I found is I've got to go into here. Sorry, do the search, type Windows Snipe. It comes on another screen. I've got to click New. Then I've got to select it, and then I tend to save it into a file, and then I've got to go into the file and find it and then drag it in. It just seemed a bit long-winded, but there is probably a quicker way of doing it. But I am proficient in this now. Right click, capture image, boom. It's popped in a screen above me, which is fine, and I just get rid of that. Right click, copy, and boom, I'm in. Quick. You should be able to just click. Yeah, I couldn't for some reason, unless I haven't done it right. Trouble is, if no one shows you how to use a bit of software somewhere, you can sometimes it can probably take the long-winded way of doing it. Use shortcut, it will save automatically. Yeah, there probably is. It's probably too much information for my small brain, John. But yeah, there's probably a bunch of ways of doing them. There usually is, isn't there? Let's have a look. It's hard to trade this stuff. It's very choppy, isn't it? Do you have a pop-up when you put your mouse on top of your screen for long enough? Do I have a pop-up? No, I don't think so. Do you have a pop-up when you put your mouse on the screen for long enough? What, just holding the mouse on the screen? Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah. Off the screen. No, I don't think so. Oh, the very top. No, I'm on my top screen. I can see. It's like almost a little slider. It's you can't see it there, can you? Yeah, I'm just getting that. Can you see that on the? I don't know. I'm pointing. Can you see that on the top of my screen? You probably can't, can you? Just getting that little. It's like a slider type thing. Yeah, absolutely. There is a record video. Yeah, I noticed a record video down here, isn't it? Record video, record replay. So yeah, if you want to record something, it is handy. I've just popped in the taskboard. Yeah, it's a handy bit of stuff actually. Wow, this is a very choppy day, isn't it? It's suppose the one good thing is it's clearly ranging, with the exception of that. That was something to do with the news, wasn't it? Whether the news sort of formed there or something. What time was that now? Okay, yeah, the news was there on that bar. It's alright. I thought it might have created that push out. Just can't trade this stuff really. Look at the 10k chart, we're in the middle of a range. Is this the 10k chart? Oh, okay, let's have a look. Strong push up on that 10k chart, look at that. Is there any type of channel there, is there, I wonder? Now that's interesting, isn't it? That's interesting. The lows of the day. If we come back down to the lows of the day, we're going to touch this. That's interesting. Actually kind of looks, I mean, it's the 10,000 tick chart, so... but yeah, look at that. Be interesting to see if we go sideways and drop out and bounce here. That's interesting. But yeah... It's tough to trade here in the middle, isn't it? You can get chopped around a little bit. Don't get involved. No, I've learnt my lesson, mate. Just got to let it go. Mac does say you just can't trade this. The skilled traders are staying out of this, so I like to think if I can stay out of it, I'm a skilled trader. But yeah, it doesn't bother me now. It's almost impossible when you're new. It really is. See, for instance, see that bar there, high or low? I'd jump all over that. At a bit of time. I'm not saying it ain't going to work, but when it does this, it's got a habit of going up, coming down, going up, coming down. So as it goes up, you go long, then it comes down. So it goes up, you go long, it comes down, stops you out, comes down, you go short, ticks, comes up, stops you out, and it does a series of that. Up, down, up, down, up, down. As soon as you go long, crosses over, comes down, stops you out. As soon as you go short, pushes up, and as an inexperienced trader, you'd be saying, oh, it's going up, let's jump in, and then it goes down. But it just does a series of that, and you really, whenever it's doing this, you've really got to stay out of it. And it's almost damn impossible when you're relatively new. But after a while, I think you value your setup, so you value your account, and you want to sit here. Now, that's the beauty of having multiple accounts, with the likes of Apex. So see that now, that lower high, that higher low there is triggered. Now that could push up, but I think it's likely it's going to come down and break below there, because it does that. It traps inexperienced traders and chops them around. Now at some point it could decide to push up, so it may work. But a lot of traders will see this and think, oh yeah, high low, let's jump in, and it triggers them, comes down and stops them out, and it just does that. And it's damn annoying when you're getting into trades like that, because you can't control yourself. But after a while, you identify when it's doing this. You might try and read it, but you don't need to. You just stay out of it. But you do learn after a while. You'll only fail something so many times before your brain will start to change, and you can't help but do it. But unfortunately, the reason trading's got such a high failure rate is people don't give it long enough. They think it's easy, and granted, I used to think it was easy. I was doing this for a month and gave up my job. That's how easy I thought it was. But it does look easy, and sometimes when you're on a sim and you get into a trade and you win it, and you get into another trade and you win it, you think, and then that happens for a few days, you think you've nailed it. But it just, no, it's way harder than I ever dreamed it was. Excuse me. Yeah, best thing to do is put your feet up and just keep an eye on the chart when it's like this. Play some music or something, make a cup of tea. Yeah. Yeah, I think if you ask Mac, the only places to take a trade are at the tops and at the bottoms. If the setup looks right, leg and a leg, something nice and bullish. If you're a skilled chart reader, you can take that. If you're like me and not so skilled, wait for a higher low. But these are the places where you want to be taking. I took that. We'd had a breakout. We pushed in. We came back and had a bounce there. Trapped some shorts there, and I took that trade. I just took it for a quick point on one of my lower accounts. But this is where you want to be trading really long and up here short. So see what I mean about that bar there, high low, what happens? Triggers you. Pushes up, a couple of ticks, comes down, stops you out, and it does a series of that. You go short here, you think, yeah, we're coming down, turns around, stops you out. You go long here, you know what I mean? You know the picture. Up, down, up, down, up, down, and that's the chop. Goes up, chops you up, comes down, chops you up. But you'll learn after a while. Once you fail enough times, blow enough accounts, you'll learn. A bit of a doubt. Yeah, I just drew that. Drew that then. But I think it's just as much choppy. So we're back down here now. So I'll have to have a look at this now because we didn't get that high this time around. Last time we had the breakout, we came back a little bit, but we did push higher. And we came off the bottoms, and it's very choppy this. So there is a possibility that we could close outside this channel, because you may think that. And if you remember that, just the 10,000 tick chart that I just drew with that big channel, the bottom of it is down here. The bottom of the channel is down here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got a break out of it. How you doing, Stephen? Sorry, I never saw you there, but I read your comment, but I didn't recognise it was you. How you doing? Okay, so there may be a higher low there. Oof, very tempting, very tempting. That's tempting.
Order submitted.
Let's see how that pans out. Has it gone a bit too far? It's gone a bit too far for my liking, that has. Let's see if it comes back, triggers and comes back a bit. My slight concern is we come from the top to the bottom, we've only got so far up. It's 10 ticks, tick above, tick below. It's a 3-point risk. It just doesn't seem to be pushing up as strongly as I like. And there is a lot of support along there as well. There's not much space to that EMA. I mean, realistically, 3/4 of a point. See if it gives us a bearish bar, and which triggers. So look.
Order cancelled.
Yes, it's tough on that. It's a little bit bigger than I'd have liked. Also, it is sitting in line with that. So if you'd have gotten a tick above it, you'd have got 1.5 points. Because it's got to push through it. Bit unnerving, yeah. That's how I felt about it, mate. It clearly worked for a certain. It was a little bit too big for me. You put a tick above there and a tick below, you're risking $300. I got 10 accounts on the riding on it, which is $3,000. Would I want to risk $3,000? Not really. I prefer that bar a bit smaller and a bit more of a tail, maybe. And in all fairness, somebody mentioned a possible downtrend. I wasn't so sure, but now we've sort of hit around the same part. Maybe it is. There is a possibility of a leg and a leg. See, if you look at this, we've kind of had 2 legs up. So it's like a leg with 2 legs up. So we may come down here and break. So if you think about a leg there and a leg, well, let's say there may be a leg and a leg. Not perfect, but it kind of looks like a channel with a leg and a leg, doesn't it? 1 leg, 2 leg, and then down again. So, yeah, just something about it I didn't really like. And the fact that it's struggling here was a good reason. The trouble is, you'd have made a bid on it, but if I get into a trade, I want to try and get on something that's going to give me a couple of points. So you'd have got 1.5 points there if you'd have had your, 6 ticks. But if you'd have added up to 2 points, you wouldn't have hit it. I'm not saying you're not going to, but I like to get in and get out in that first push. I don't like the pullbacks. which is why I'm probably a little bit too impatient or too nervy to be a swing trader. If I was a swing trader, I'd go for a lot less risk. I would like to have some swing trading skills, but I'd probably maybe go for sort of 5 micros or something like that. But the trouble is with swing trading, unless you've got over $2,600 on a PA, it can seriously into your drawdown. But so far, it's kind of a nice looking range. I mean, it did work for some. I mean, there's no guarantees it's not going to continue up, and it may hold, but it's the type of trade I normally wouldn't mind taking. But it was just a bit too big and too far into that range for me. Tough day for Alpine. Has he got a belt in again, has he? I do like watch these other guys, these other streamers or traders. I like to see how they get on for the day. I've been listening to Kellyanne and Nutty the last couple of days. It's quite entertaining, actually. I can't make myself. I saw the video and I thought I'll make myself a cup of tea and I'll sit down and watch that. You don't get much entertainment in this business, do you? It's a pretty boring old life, stuck in a room by yourself. But those two have been having a pop at each other. I like Nutty, I got to say. He's a nice guy. Kellyanne seems okay as well. I know she's got a bit of a beef with Apex, but it's been quite comical watching those two. Or listening to those two, but it does make trading. Yeah, okay. So I was glad I left that because I had a feeling with this leg down, 2 attempts to go higher, we were going to have a break out of here. It does look like a correction there. Why couldn't I make it work? Okay, I'll tell you what I didn't do. That and that. Okay, yeah, nice correction there. So channel down, 2-legged correction, and another channel down. I still think we get down to here. I wouldn't trade it on a breakout, on a failed breakout. Not just because it's massive anyway, but yeah. Leg and a leg. Be interesting to see if that gets stopped out. I mean, it's strong buying from there. But because of this leg got us down to here, so if we can get down to the lows of the day, looking on the 10,000 tick chart, there is, it may do, that channel, someone mentioned the 10,000 tick chart, I forget who it was now. But if you look at that, it actually fits really nice, in all fairness, touching really nice there. But if we can get down a bit lower, we may bounce, and that may give us some momentum. But we got to touch. It's quite kind of nice down there. Probably tighten it a bit more, actually. Let me have a look if I get that right. And the trouble is, sometimes unless you don't try these things, you never know. Look how nice it's fitting at the tops, right the way along there. And look how nice. You've got 4 bars there, one there, a few bars there. Look how nice they're fitting. So usually in a channel like this, we push up, go a bit sideways, push up, and we're doing the same. We came back a bit steep there, but there was a bit of sideways before we moved up again. So we could hit this level and then take off. So it'll be interesting to see if we do. So it's kind of a second entry long there, but there's just nothing that jumps out at me at the moment. But excuse me, interesting. But yeah, this is. I thought I got rid of that. Move, yeah. Risky to take that. Not just that, it's bloody huge. Or is it? It's bigger than I'd like anyway. Because of this, I'm just staying out of it at the moment. So if you jump in there, yeah, it's about 3.5 points for the tops. And considering the ATR is just over 2, I'm just not interested at the moment. I'll have a look Alpine later. I just couldn't bring myself to take that. Not that much risk when it's doing this. Oh. What's going to happen? I think we may get some move down. Let's have a look. Come on, why are you slowing? Oh, it froze up that now, look. Oh well. Let's try it again. There we go. So right click, copy image. There's a second entry short form in there. You just don't know what's going to happen, do you? Just going to photograph this, the 10,000 tick chart. Okay. Do you go long or do you go short? It's a tough one, that, isn't it? I wouldn't do either, to be sure, because if this is a channel, that's an overshoot. Yeah, it's a tough one, that is. I wouldn't take that hard to say. Support is strong. It's hard to know what to do here. See, the reason I think I like this leg is because we've had a leg down and a nice correction there. Having said that, we are also in a range, so it may not count. So look at that. That could come down in. If it does and touches this, it'll bounce off that thing. You can guarantee there's going to be some longs there with that high or low. Look at that. It may not work. It may turn. Leg down, 2 legs of correction, leg down. I mean, it's clearly respecting that all the way down so far. So law of averages, for me, it's going to respect it again. But this time around, we have broken out, so it may push up. But I wouldn't want to take anything, really. I wouldn't want to be in this long. I wouldn't want to be in this short. As we know, it is very choppy, so it could do either or. I would say law of averages, it's likely to come down, depending on how far. But if it comes down below there, it's going to take out some stops. If it takes out that stop there, it'll hit that measured move for me. It'll quite likely come down and tackle the daily. That's if it does. It depends on buyers and sellers in there at the moment. There's some strong buys there and a higher low, so maybe it's just sometimes it almost comes down and tries to spook you before it turns. But I'm just not getting involved in there because for me it really could go either or. And this is the first day NVIDIA trades without stock split. Hopefully we have some. I haven't really been following NVIDIA so much. I kind of followed stocks a little bit when it was all. What was that stock everyone was talking about at once? They something to do with cinemas and all that. Was it a couple of 3 years ago? I had some of that at one point. Was it GameStop, GameStore, Games, something like that? I think I had some of it at $5 a piece. I don't know what they are now. Trouble is, I haven't got the patience to sit on them. That's why I scalp. No, I don't tend to so much. You know, you tend to. I think if you're a trader anyway, you tend to, obviously the S&P 500. I know I've got a bit of money invested in my pension actually. The S&P 500. It's not bad. I think it's as probably as good as you'll get really, and as safe. I mean, if anything affects the S&P 500, all stocks are going to be affected anyway. I mean, you're invested in the top 500 performing stocks. You've not got everything into one, and I think. Typically, historically, I think the S&P 500 is averaged about 10 to 12% per year over the last 10 years, I think, isn't it? And if you can get 10 to 20% a year on a pension, for your future, I think you're doing all right out of that. I think if anybody's going to put money into stocks and you don't know a lot about stocks, I think you can do. I think you can do a lot worse than the S&P 500. Obviously, the more of these stocks. I mean, don't get me wrong. If we have if you have a recession or, another COVID or something like that, it doesn't matter what money is in what stocks, it's going to take a hit. But obviously, the reason I think is a pension is a good idea, depending on your age. It might be sat in there for 20, 30 years and some. So over the grand scheme of things, I mean, you can imagine, everything took a hit come sort of COVID time, but we're out of it. And, when did COVID really finish? A couple of years ago? What, 4 months ago, we hit all-time highs again. So, it's not a major issue. So we're really struggling here. So it's bulls and bears having a bit of a scrap here. We have had a failed breakout. So I would say We trapped, you know, if you went short, you pushed up. So normally, I mean, it's a range, isn't it? So we had something like that, and eventually we pushed up, but we went a bit sideways there and eventually pushed up. So it's hard to say what's going to go on here, really. It depends on the buyers. But if you're looking more over a long period of time, hey, RF, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? Top 6 make up 25%. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You can't go wrong, really, by investing in a pension. You never want to stick your money in the bank. The banking industry is the biggest con known to man. We put billions and billions of our money, or trillions of our money, in these banks. We never get nothing for it. We get less than inflation for it. And they invest it, make themselves a stink load of money, pay themselves some massive wages and some fancy offices, and we get absolutely nothing for it. So I think banks obviously keep a bit of cash, but if you've got money sitting investing, get some advice, get it invested in something, or at least some of it. Oh, sorry. Let me have a look at this CL. We got a strong push up now on this CL. With a possible overshoot. Just going to drag this CL chart in at the moment. I'm going to bring that to there. So, touch, touch, touch. Nice touch there. Nice touch there. Nice touch there. Overshoot. Back, new high. So, oh, what are you doing, Lancy boy? Not sure about that. Okay, we're going to get above this. That's the key, I think. Second entry short there. I'd say that's a pretty strong position there. If we can get above there, then I'd expect it to get up to the tops. Obviously, there's going to be some shorts there as well. Second entry short there. Second entry short there. There's a lot of shorts up here. So if it does push up, it could upset a lot of people. But there's obviously a lot of longs there as well. You can imagine how many longs are there and there. And look at this thing now. Look. What does that tell you now? It's looking quite bearish now, but things can just change so quick. But it really tried there. You may even call that 1, 2, 3 a triple test. Great to see your 20 pair. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. It took me long enough, didn't it? I battled long enough. But I think ultimately, if you do stick at it, for me, was the emotions getting in check. So I'm not stressed or panicking. And if you don't stress or panicking, you don't get that fight or flight. So I haven't blown an account now for about 2.5, 3 months. And as you know, that's pretty unlike me. You're not copy. I am copy trading, yeah. What I'm doing is I'm trading this chart and I'm trading this CL and I'm splitting it, bud. 10 accounts on this and 10 accounts in the other. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket just in case something goes wrong with software, or you know sometimes Rhythmic can be a bit temperamental. So yeah, Terry, how you doing, Terry? Terry. I know a Terry. You're a new face, I think. Terry. Now that is a typical British name, Terry, isn't it, I think? Where you from? But I'm pretty sure you knew. I started trading NQ on 800 ticks. So far, so good. Yeah, a lot of people are trading NQ now on the lower ticks. Good. I'm all right, mate. Where you from? You've got to be from the UK, surely. That's about as British name as you can get, I think, Terry. British or even Welsh, maybe. Terry. Oh, you're US. Okay, welcome. Most of you guys are actually. It's just quite a British name, Terry. Terence. Yeah. US. Excellent. So, are we going to break above all this? There's certainly a battle going on there, isn't there? I can actually take that up a touch because of that there. Let's put that there and take it up a smidgen more. There, okay. So that is a bit of an overshoot as well, so that may... it may get up, but I wouldn't want to be in a longer, I wouldn't want to be in a short. In fact, personally, if you look at that short there, I would say the shorts are probably more safer than the longs. But then you have got this. But this does look like a channel. There's a channel there with a correction, a nice looking correction. So personally, if it gets below there, I'd expect it to get below this line. So there's going to be some lower highs. If you don't buy that, you're quite likely going to buy that. So that is the line in the sand for me. So if you can get below there, then I then favour this. And if you get below there, you're going to stop some traders out there. Whether it will get below there, that I think is a pretty strong position. Sometimes these strong positions, it'll go for all and they'll hold. So for me, I would say it's more likely going to come down below this, but not necessarily this. But I would like to see this leg, because if we have this leg, the 10,000 tick chart channel over the last 3 days runs straight the way through there. So that would be interesting. But obviously, we are ranging, and this is a breakout which fails. So you just don't know. But my money would be on the shorts, although I wouldn't bet on it, so I'm not that confident. But there's the line in the sand for me. If you can take out that higher low stop, but it's I don't like it. This is drama. This is the most exciting part of our day. This is there's a battle going on. So far we've had 1, 2, we've had this is the 6th bounce off here. Okay, we're through there, so that's something. That's the next one. Another 3 more ticks. If we can get below there, things will change, I think. Oh, nearly. But there's going to be short stops there, and quite likely up there as well. So there could be a second entry long. So you just don't know what's going to happen. But my thoughts would be, we're going to get below there. Whether we meet that one or not, I don't know. But we're going to get below. Oh, we are below there anyway. So maybe your stop would go there. But for me, it's more of a, yeah, okay. So let's see if we take out this. So the higher low stop's gone. Went short back to the top. Yeah. So we are bouncing here again, as we know. You can imagine how many stops are going to be below there. Second entry long, failed breakout, trap in the shorts. Whether it will get down here, I don't know, but you can imagine, can't you? Yeah, you're not on your own there, mate, and it ends up blowing accounts. Yeah, it's all part of the journey, mate. Everyone's the same. I remember putting a message once on a Facebook group a few years ago saying, "I've blown up an account. Is this happened to anybody else?" You can imagine how many comments I got. Yeah, it's all part of it. Human beings really don't make very good traders. They haven't got the right mindset. So you do need to go through a journey of learning to change that mindset, because we're all at it, bred into us over the years, fight or flight. We don't like losing things. We don't like things getting taken away. So it is a real journey, but it's a journey, in my opinion, that's worth it if you can stick things out and keep trying. And it does take time. You'll do okay at it. But it's taken me to get to this level now, trading Pats, this style, 3 years as a complete beginner trader, just a touch over 3.5 years to get to the level where I feel now I'm in control, not my emotions. And so it's taken me 3.5 years. And every day is a school day. You're constantly learning. But I'd say 3.5 years, you're probably going to get to the stage where you can make more money than lose, put it that way. It's all about getting more. Absolutely, yeah. It's a good comment that I've heard that before. It's about being comfortable with feeling uncomfortable, because it can feel uncomfortable. Small profits all the time. That's it. That's the key. Don't be too greedy. And I think that the biggest transformation for me is when the emotions start to go, you start thinking with your brain and you start thinking clearly. I mean, we've all, especially as guys, we've all been in fisticuffs and punch-ups in our life, maybe when we're young and we're full of a few too many drinks. And when you do, it's just, you don't think, you just start swinging like crazy. But how can two guys get into a boxing ring and control those emotions? Why can't we do it, but they can? They can hold the punches, they can be calm and collective, even when they're getting hit. Time. You need to expose yourself enough times for those emotions to start to become normal, for you to get used to them. And then you can start thinking clearly then, without the emotions just completely ruling your head and taking over. Because once those emotions are all fueled up, you've got no control. It just takes over and you end up blowing accounts. You either get lucky or you blow an account. And the only way that stops is to do it enough. And eventually it will start to decrease and you'll start to feel like, now, I did not trust myself as a trader up until about 3 months ago. I couldn't trust myself to not do something. If I got more accounts, I always have it in the back of the mind, am I going to let myself down? But I now feel fully in control. I'm not going to blow an account. The only way I'm going to lose an account is if I take 7 or 8, 9 bad trades in a row. But I believe I've got enough skills and enough confidence to not do that. And I know now when to walk away, whereas before, I couldn't do it. Yeah, so it looks to me like we are making this second leg down. If we can get below here, it's game over. Or get down here in a hurry, I think. I'm with you. I believe it's an overshoot, but the upper trend held, which makes me question the overshoot. Yeah, see, you've got the trend, the trend channel fighting against the range, haven't you? So it's a tough one here. I mean, my thoughts were the shorts were going to get down below here, but as we know, that's a strong buying bar there, and at the bottom of all this, you've got to favour that. I expected this to come down below that bar there, but look, we've got four little bounces there. But as we know, sometimes these really strong positions, they hold up, and it's going to take quite a bit of selling to get below there. And if we do, we'll hit this measured move. And if we can get down to this measured move on the 10-second chart, there is a massive channel going up over the last few days, and the bottom of it is there. Look at this thing coming down now. Look. It does, yeah. But that's in a channel. But bearing in mind, we're in a range here as well, and we've had that overshoot with this as well, that second leg in mind. So you can see there was a battle going on. I don't think normal is the case at the moment because of this battle. And I think that's probably why, is that up now? I think that's probably why it's doing what it's doing. But you can see a lot of congestion there. You know, are we going up, we're going down, we're going up, we're going down. Look at this, we broke below there now. I'm guessing there may be a few ticks below that. I'd like to hit that measured move, but we broke below it and pushed above. So I'd expect if traders are buying there, their stop's going to be a little bit lower, because sometimes when it breaks below, it doesn't push like you'd expect it, but sometimes when it starts to work down a bit, and then it'll drop. So as a Pats trader, we just put our stop one tick below there, but a lot of other traders will have a little bit more of a window. So a little bit of a pullback. Still holding that channel. So because it held so many times, you know, law of averages to me said it's got more likely to hold again, and it did. Never closed above there at all. I'm out at 1 2 I'm going to take off while I'm green, absolutely. Yeah, you take it easy, buddy. Always nice to end on green. Makes your evening better, doesn't it? I always like to end on green on a Friday evening as well, because you know you can have a good weekend. Yeah, you take it easy, buddy. Let's see what happens here. It has broke below there, but just by a tick. I think it's a tick. Yeah, I'd like to see it go just a little bit lower, and then I think it will move then. Feels like it's about to dump. Yeah, I've got that feeling as well. I think when it gets another couple of ticks below there, I think it'll drop straight through there. Because it's such a strong bar that if you're going to have your stop, it's going to be a little bit below there, not just a tick. But yeah, I do have that feeling it's going to drop. see if we can manage to pull back to here. A lot of those longs may decide to get out. In which case it may bounce off here and come back down. See, if I was in that trade with this going now, I'd want to get out at break even personally, especially seeing all this. If you're lucky enough to get up to here, I'd want to get out. See if we can get up to where break even would be there. So if we can break above there, trap any longs, hit this line, those longs get out, which creates a bearish bar, and then we come down for more. Possible second entry short. I'm still not taking anything here just in case. It's struggling. Yeah, sometimes the slower it moves, the quicker it drops or pushes up. It kind of leads up, and then you have that big quick move, don't you? See what happens here. There is a second entry short, but I just don't want to take it here. It is congested. It could rocket up or it could rocket down. I mean, you could even say a triple test, bounce, 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 and it could go up. It really could do anything. Okay, see if we have that quick drop now. I'd say stops are going to be further below there because we actually broke below it, but it did nothing really. A little bit of a pullback, but Okay, we go again. There we go. There's a bit more movement there. We're a couple of ticks away from that measured leg. Today's news was no movement. No, it doesn't sometimes, but we expect a big move tomorrow. Can we? I'm not sure what news it is tomorrow, bud. Let's have a look. Ultimately, you never quite know. What I find is a CPI data that often creates a big move, but sometimes you just don't get. Let me have a look. What's tomorrow? Friday. So at 1:30 we have got non-farm employment. It's hard to say. I mean, it's down as high impact, which means it could move. It's ultimately you never really know. It's hard to say. I mean, I've tried trading news before, and you expected a big move, and it does absolutely nothing. But my experience is usually things like non-farm payroll, that has a big move. CPI data, that has a big move. In fact, I think we've already hit that measured leg. Yeah, we have, right to the tick. Okay, so perfect measured leg, right to there, perfect measured leg. And if you look on that 10,000 tick chart now, we should hopefully get a big push up from this. Oh, look where that's at. Beautiful. Look where it's bouncing here. Leg and a leg. We could get a rocket. Let's hope so, eh? Interesting. Strong move there. Trouble is, we're still in this channel at the moment. A lot of times, when you get an overshoot, we'll come down, make a new low before we rock it up. So I think there's a chance we could get a move. I'd prefer to come down to there, actually, because that would fit that 10,000 tick chart slightly better. That actually may not look too bad like that, I think. Okay, little bull bar there, which is triggered. How's that coming down? I would like to get to here. If you start downtrend off bodies at tops instead of wicks, the trend looks better to me. What about there, are you? Yeah. Yes. It doesn't look a lot different. So look. Are you on about more to the top and then pull that down like that? About there, are you? That looks better. Touch, 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 touch. Yeah, that looks better. Did I have it like that? I can't remember anyway. But yeah, that's touching there, ironically. So maybe it is there. Maybe it is. That's very close. I mean, we had it like this, but there's no issue why we can't have it like this. I come down to that measured move beautifully. So are we going to come down some more? I'd love to see it come down to there. Okay, I'm going to let it do its stuff. I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, make a quick cup of coffee, and I'll be back. So I'm just going to pop that there. So I'll be about, we may come down some more there. There'll be a stop there possibly. I'll be about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Let's have a look. Okay, so it's still respecting that line. We've come down there on a little double bottom there. That's interesting. There's a double bottom there, isn't there? What's going on this CL today? I thought we made that measured move. We'd turn. But this thing, many times I've entered on a sim, it went a good trade. I entered real, it's lost. Yeah. It's a different, it is a little bit of a different ball game. The only way really to get good at this is just time. But it does take time. And if you're anything like me, incredibly impatient, I found it really frustrating at times. But if you think about the amount of money you can make in trading, it's never going to be easy. If it was that easy, see, every man and his dog would be trading, wouldn't they? And which is why they got a high failure rate. But the fact that you're here chatting with me every day tells me that you're a bit of a keeper. You're a stayer. And that's what you need. You need to just keep coming back and trading the chart as best you can and keep learning it. I would have a look at Mac's chart every day. I would have a look at Thomas Wade's chart every day. Have a look at Marco's chart every day. Compare yours to them. Figure out where you went wrong. Try and figure out why. And slowly over time you'll improve and you'll get better, and you will. You will. Okay, so we're now another tick below that. So it's very, very slowly creeping down. So just wondering if we had this where traders got in along there, hoping for a leg up, maybe something else. Be interesting to see if we get down to this low of the day. It's hard to trade today as well, the CL. It's kind of a little channel there with a sort of, it's gone off at that sort of angle. I don't know where. I'm not sure whether we've had a break there or not, but I just don't like this anyway, really. I wouldn't have taken a trade there, wouldn't have taken one here, so doesn't look like the type of chart that's easy to trade today. What do you think about the second entry short at 1639? 1639, second entry short. I don't think it looks too bad, actually. My only slight issue at the moment with breaking below here is how far is this thing going to come down? But yeah, I'm not comfortable with all this at the moment, because we are having a leg down, but you just don't know when things are going to change. But yeah, I don't think it was that bad, actually. It is a second entry short, isn't it? Yeah, I thought it was okay, mate. Ah, we got the same name as well. Would you look at that? There's not many of us around, I don't think, is there? So yeah, I don't think it was that bad. How far did it go down? My only slight concern is we've got this bounce tick below here. So is this going to get down? It's a bit of a tough one, isn't it? Let's have a look. So if you'd have got 2 points, you'd have been out there at that measured leg. Yeah, I'm a bit nervous about trading just below this, because you don't know if it might turn, because see, that bar there is ticked below there, and you don't know whether it's going to trap you short and push up. So it's just a little bit choppy and wicky for me. I just want to wait for something really good. Sorry about that. Felt like it was a good signal bar. Yeah, it looked okay, mate. My hesitation was what you mentioned. Wiki. Yeah, I think for me, we've had that push and it broke it by a tick and then pushed up. So you don't know whether it's going to trap you short. I just get a bit unnervy, I do, when it's very wiki. It'd be interesting to see if Mac marks that. But there's, if I take this up just a fraction, there's a little bit of support there. You've got 2 touches there and 2 touches there. So now we're out the bottom of this thing. How much further is it going to go before it decides to sort of hightail it back up, or will it? So you just don't know. But yeah, I mean, I think I think the better trades would have been that one. I think was okay at the time, but my concern was this may not get stopped out. But it was a second entry short, trapping some longs. There'd have been some traders to take that for sure. At the moment, though, because I've not long had these 20 accounts, I'm probably a little bit more paranoid than I probably should be. So I'm probably being a little bit overcautious. But I'd have taken that like a shot on an evaluation, but just not on. I've got 10 accounts traded on this and 10 accounts traded on the CL, so I just don't. What was the size of it? Let's have a look. So if you go a tick below it and a tick above it, it was only 2 points, so it wasn't a big risk either, really. It's $200. Yeah, you could make that back in another trade. It's when they're 3 and 4 points and you need 2 trades to cover a loss. So that one you'd cover a loss in 1 trade. So it's just concerning me because of this. That's all. You just don't know when we're going to see that one there. When we hit that measured leg, you don't know whether that's going to turn, and we continued on down. How far can we go? Failure there, trapping some longs maybe. Still wouldn't want to go short there. Where do you stop? Does it continue down, or is it turn? I mean, at the end of the day, it's still trending down, so it is a failure. Break it. Akitri, how you doing? Break it. No, it's not an easy day, is it? It's very choppy today. It's easy to get messed around today. I mean, look at that. That's proper chop, isn't it? I mean, it is working down here. So the trouble is, sometimes when it's working down here, because it is so choppy, it puts you off. Although it is working exactly like a trend. If you'd have gone short there, it worked. Short there, it worked. Any of these big bearish bars here would have worked. That would have worked. So anytime we broke above here and closed back in, that bar, any of these, they would have worked. But we know that in hindsight. In real time, you just never know. But what I will say is we're running down this midline here. So this channel for me is working here at the moment. So I just don't know what's going on. I hate it when it's slow. When it works really slow, sometimes it fires off in the opposite direction so damn quick. Just looking at this CL, see if we get another leg down. I'm not sure if you consider that a break. It's a tough one, isn't it, there? Or is that an overshoot? Not a massive fan of this channel, in all fairness. I mean, if that's the first break, you'd expect that to push up, but it could get stuck in there also. Most of the time, the problem is not the problem. The problem is incredible amount of overthinking. Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. Overanalyzing. Probably got a lot to do with having more accounts now. If I had just one account, I'd have probably taken off half of these. But I have seen a few people not taking anything today. So if they'd have anything I would have taken, if I could have had it again, it would have been that one. And possibly that one as well. In fact, yeah, more that one than that one, I think. Trouble is, I don't know how many times we've heard Max say, stay out of the middle, you're just going to get chopped up. So, you know, that one was just below the middle. So it's just hard to say. And not only that, we've come up so far, you don't know whether we're going to have a couple of legs back and then come up again. So it's just, that's the trouble when it's wicky and choppy like this. It looks dangerous. And in some cases, you do get chopped up. Hate it when it's slow. Are we going to break the lows of the day here? Perfect. Bounced off the low of the day. I'd reckon if we can get below here a little bit, there may be some longs looking to buy there because of that 10,000 tick chart channel. Well, that doesn't look the case, does it? Wow, look at that. Wow. Yeah, it is a choppy trend. Hey, Sam, how you doing, bud? Someone else in here from your neck of the woods earlier. Someone else here from Hawaii. Who was it? Can't see it now. No, I can't find them. Someone was. Did a 40-pointer again yesterday. Crikey, mate. Okay, we're getting some real volume here, some real volatility. It's bouncing a good one. What's going to go on here? So, that I can say is an overshoot. Let's see if we do bounce here now. Oh, you're kidding. How was it really? That's frustrating. I've taken trades before and they've been on a sim and I've done well and got so excited. Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating that, isn't it? Yeah, I've done it on a sim before. Thought, yeah, made $300. Nope, it's a sim. And equally, I've lost trades as well and found out they were on a sim. So, let me have a look. God, that kind of fits as well, doesn't it? Oh, I like how that fits, actually. That fits really nice, and there. It's clearly a two-tiered channel, isn't it? Fits. Consider how much chop's in there. Usually when it's this choppy, it doesn't always fit that nice. That's fitting beautifully there. And that midline, look how it's nicely... Now I've extended that. Look how nice it's fitting on the midline. My 40k chart played out, didn't it? What's going to happen now? We're going to get a big bounce, are we now? We're going to come down some more. Let's just flick over to that 10,000 again and see. We've come way past that now. Way past. Tough one. I do like the way it's sitting there. It's almost like it's made to measure that, isn't it? And then if you follow that down, look what happens there. Maybe we get 2 legs up and down some more. Trouble is, when's this flipping thing going to break? Guaranteed I'll sit and watch all these every time it comes up here, and the one time I get in here, it'll decide to push up. It's usually how it works. There's a second entry short there, but I'm staying out of this at the moment. There's always a possibility of an overshoot. I don't think it is, because that to me looks made to measure. But I'm staying out. That's a leg. I prefer to push up higher. That looks risky as hell, that does. It is a very small bar, though. It's only 4 ticks. I'd like a bigger leg, to be honest with you, before I even considered something like that. It's also a little bit congested. It may work. It's only a small risk, if anybody wants to sort of have a go at it. But if you look at that, there's also a little bit of congestion there. So I'm leaving it. I'll prefer another leg up. A leg, ball back, and another leg. Yeah, it's lucky it got stopped out. So I'd like to see it get back to here. Leg, up to the top here, and then something attractive. Oh, come on, move, you damn thing. I'm using a 5,000 tick chart. Are you really? Let's have a look there. I haven't got the 5,000. Let's set it the 4,000. Let's have a look. Yeah, sometimes it's a bit easy to see, isn't it? Would that work there? Kind of would, wouldn't it? Yeah. It's definitely a bit clear, isn't it? Interesting. I'm selling, going with the trend. Yeah, you have to, really. You have to. The trouble is, because it's so choppy as well, you kind of keep thinking it's gonna reverse, and it just might not. Mm-hmm. It's a bit hard to read the CL today, in all honesty. Oh, God, that's moved a bit. What went wrong there? The whole thing's moved. What went down? Hmm. $65.
Order submitted.
I'm going to try that one trade on this CL here. See what happens. Just on one account. Not risking anything more. Yeah, if it triggers, I'll show you the trade. Yeah. Just doing it on one account though.
Order filled.
Okay, I'm just going to drag this in. Just going to get out there. Okay, excuse me. Oh no, it's all right. I'm ignoring it. Okay, touch, 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 touch. I kind of like it. I'm only doing it on one account. We'll give it a go, see what happens. Or are we going to get a leg and a leg? Ooh, I don't know if I like this anymore all of a sudden. Struggling to push up there. It's only 220 wrist. It's not too bad. It's only on one account, so I'll let it run. Let it run. It's quite a strong trend. We've had a strong trend, and it seems to be moving at more of an angle. So we have dropped below any stops there and pushed up quite strong. So I like where it is. We'll see what happens. It is a second entry long. It's just struggling though for me. It's going up, coming down, going up, coming down. Not sure about this. I'm going to leave it at break even. See if it works. No, I'll put it back a bit. Don't know if we're going to get a leg and a leg, do you? I don't like how it's come back. Let's leave it. It's off that key entry point anyway, so we'll see. It's quite a strong trend today, so I think it's I like the way it's all sitting right the way along there, so we'll give it a go anyway. State it when it goes blooming slow. Hello. Could actually bring that down a fraction. Look better at the top, actually. I like the way it's triggered that short, so we'll see. In fact, you could even put that there. It comes down below there. It'll take that out anyway, so I'll put it there. It's a bit less of a risk anyway. I like the way it's trapped that short, so but it could be a leg and a leg. It could come down, we'll see. But it's the way it's triggered that and pushing up there, I think it's likely to push up, but we'll see. Reduces that risk anyway. As I say, it's just a one account. I just wanted to have a go at that because I kind of liked it, but I don't like it enough to put everything on it, to put 10 accounts on it. You could call that a triple test. Once, twice, three times. Put it back to where it was. Could be a leg and a leg. We'll see.
Stop filled.
Okay. That's why I risked it only just a 1, because I knew it was a little bit... well, look at that drop now. It's weird, isn't it? Doesn't matter what you'd have done, as you'd have brought all the way up there, it pushed up. As soon as you get in, a little bit congested and down it comes. So, let's have a look. Yeah, I was up a touch on that anyway, so it's at minus 135 for the day, but that's fine. Let's have a look. So it goes up and up and up, and the one time you get in, typical, isn't it? Let's have a look. Yeah, it's just one of those things. At some point, it's weird, isn't it? One time you get in, but it is a little bit sideways. Let's have a look. So, what is that? It's hard to work out what you're up or down there, so I'm down 135 on that for the day. In fact, I think that is more of a range, I think, now. So look. Yeah, that's more of a range, that is. That's interesting. Oh. Oh. So look at this. We have got a drop out of here. It's all right. I'm just looking at this again, actually. We got a leg and a leg. Leg and a leg. So we've had a push-up break, new high, 2 legs back. Let's have a look. Leg and a leg. I might have a go at this one again. Just
Order
on the
submitted.
one again. It's finishing that anyway.
Order cancelled.
Should be on what's it there? Good to cancel. Okay, I'll do on that one now. Yeah, you get a feeling. I knew it was a little bit riskier, which is why I just did it on the one account. Oh, excuse me. Thing is, typically the damn thing goes up and up and up and up. Goes up all day long. Look at this. Every time, bull bar. That one, as soon as you get in, I kind of like, it was kind of like a triple test almost. But my concern was we get another leg down. You can't trade that really. It's just a doji. But it was kind of a leg and a leg, wasn't it? But that's no good. That's no good. So I think I am done for the day. So one trade on one account. Apart from that, nothing really. So shame really. It's been a real choppy day. There's a kind of a second entry short there. You can't say that's an overshoot. It's just an hard day today, so it's just one of those things. Nothing you can do really, unfortunately. So folks, I am done for the day. So I appreciate your comments. How long have I been going for? I've been going for 3 hours and 20 minutes anyway, so I appreciate all your comments. Friday tomorrow, so I'm up about 2,200, 300 for the for the week over all the accounts. So it's a bit slow really, but you know, 2,000-3,000 for a bad week. It's not the end of the world. That's the beauty of having multiple accounts. So so I'm done for the day. So have a great day. If you're trading, just careful in this sort of stuff, but failing that, have a great evening, and I'll be back same time tomorrow, Friday. Another week done. So have a great evening, stay safe, and I will be back and see you all same time tomorrow. Bye for now.